Hello there you guys, welcome to another one of my live videos. And Manchester United have just beaten Tottenham Hotspur at Wembley by 1-0 and Rashford's goal is the current difference. As currently said now, it's 6 wins out of 6 for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the first Manchester United manager to win his first 6 games, and he has broken Sir Matt Busby's record, as we all currently know, because previously we didn't win his last 3 visits to Tottenham, but as we all know, we have won by 1-0 today, as we all currently know, so it's looking very, very good under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But as I did say, the difference is, the system is going where suits the players, as we all know. Pogba again played well today. He's getting the freedom, to express himself. As I did say, the forward players, are getting the freedom, to interchange, as I currently said. So there's a big, big difference now under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as we all know. So Rashford's goal was the difference today, as I currently said. And Paul Pogba, getting the assist as well. Rashford scored in his last 3 games, scored today. I think Pogba's been scoring and creating assists, as we have all currently said. But he went with a 4-3-3 formation, as I did currently say in my PV. Would be going with that team. Luke Shaw at full back, Ashley Young at right back. Phil Jones and Victor Lindelof as a centre back partnership, because obviously Bays suspended, Smalling and Rojo's injured. And I did say he was going to revert back to the midfield, trio that are obviously very, very effective, which is Herrera, Matic and Pogba. And he went with a front three of Martial on the left, which he creates that width very, very well. Rashford, who's very, very effective in the middle, and he's good at playing centrally. And Lingard came in for Mata on the right, and Valencia, of course, was dropped today. But as I did say, first half, very, very good performance, for Manchester United, to be quite honest with you, we played very, very well in the first half, I thought we dropped deep, to be quite fair. We defended very, very well in the first half. We had chances of his own in the first half. Martial had a couple, in the first half. But what a goal, Marcus Rashford's ball, just before half time, currently. Lovely, inviting ball, from Paul Pogba, world class. Rashford gets onto it. And, he has still quite a bit to do. And it's a lovely finish, into the bottom corner of that. And that's potentially, 1-0, as I currently said. So now it's a third clean sheet, now under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But a lot of things, have changed. At Manchester United, since Solskjaer's come in, he's got the winning mentality, he's put the confidence in the team, he's got the team motivated, as we all currently know, and they're gelling together and working as a team, as we all currently know, because no longer as players, as forward players are looking isolated anymore, as they did do under Jose Mourinho. And, Solskjaer's made it clear he wanted to play to express themselves, as they are currently doing. But as I did say, second half performance totally different. Tottenham was, were creating chances left, right, and centre, in the second half. And potentially, David De Gea, deserved to get man of the match, because I think potentially he made 11 saves, in the second half, did De Gea. Potentially we was on the back foot, potentially in the second half, inviting pressure, to us, because Tottenham had chances left, right, and centre. They had a catalogue of chances through Harry Kane, Dele Alli had a catalogue of chances, and David De Gea made some absolutely world-class saves, as we all know. Toby Alderweireld had now, Kieran Trippier, had chances as well for Tottenham. So Tottenham had chances left, right, and centre in the second half, and I don't potentially know how they didn't put them away. If that's a different keeper we've got, potentially we could have lost that game, because Tottenham was absolutely all over us for in the second half. Potentially, that Pogba had 2 or 3 chances, in the second half as well. So potentially, Paul Pogba got the assist today for the Rashford's goal, but Pogba also, could have scored in the second half, because he had 2, 3 great chances as well. Potentially as well in the first half, Tottenham's Sissoko came off as well. He limped off in the game, did Sissoko as well. But potentially in the second half, he brought some substitutions on, did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as we all know. He brought, I think he brought Lukaku on. He brought He brought Scott McTominay on. And he brought Lukaku on, Scott McTominay, and he brought... who was the other player he brought? And now he brought Lukaku on. He brought Scott McTominay on. And he brought... who was the other player now that bloody Solskjaer brought? And I don't think I can remember, but yeah, he brought. Oh yes, he brought Diego Dalot on, Lukaku, and Diego Dalot on in the current second half, as currently said. But because essentially, as I did confirm, we've got the likes of, we've got Sanchez there, we've got Lukaku. Sanchez is obviously injured, but we've got Lukaku, Sanchez, potentially Mata, and players like Fellaini who were too slow, and I don't think they potentially fit in our system, to be quite honest, because they're too slow and they can't cope with the pace of likes of Martial and Marcus Rashford, all them, and they are potentially, fringe players in my my opinion. So this is why potentially, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, dropped him, as we all currently know. But Lukaku, as I did say, came on in the game, as I currently said, because, he has been scoring lately. He scored in his last 3 games, before today, did Ronald Lukaku, as I currently said. But yeah, very, very good win, as I currently said, because Tottenham, have got a lot of good players. Harry Kane's good for them. They've got that Sung, who's very, very good. They've got Dele Alli, as well. So Tottenham have got a lot of good players, and we know this was the first real test, for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but as I currently said, but we're all happy, as I currently said, and all the players are chipping in, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's come over, so he's changed the whole team around. We're playing like we used to play under Alex Ferguson. The second half, we wasn't even in the game in the second half just because Tottenham invited pressure. They were getting bodies in decent positions. They were passing the ball around very, very well. And, we were handing on there, especially towards the end of the second half because Tottenham had chances left, right and centre. Potentially David De Gea made some world-class saves and he made 11 saves in the second half, did David De Gea. So potentially the goal from Rashford was very, very good. Lovely through ball from Paul Pogba, as I currently said, but you can still see certain areas in our squad, that potentially does need strengthening up. We need a central defender. We need someone on the right, as I said, and potentially we need a centre defensive midfielder that's fast and tenacious, as we all know. I think Matic is really improved, to be quite fair, under Solskjaer. First half, we were very, very good. We were very effective. We played very, very well in the first half. Thought we controlled, the game, in the first half because Tottenham were struggling to keep possession in the first half. They weren't really creating any chances. But in the first half, we were getting bodies in behind. We were getting passes in behind, in the first half as well. And we looked very, very sharp and well organised, in the first half. But I thought second half, Tottenham did everything, and Tottenham fans and Tottenham couldn't have asked for any more for what they did in the second half. They did everything. Obviously, the lack of finishing, the finishing let them down because obviously they didn't score. They had chances through Kane, Trippier. They had chances left, right and centre, did Tottenham. I think they had about 21 shots, did Tottenham. I think they created about 16, as I currently said. But it's a big result for us now. Potentially now we're sitting... Potentially now we're level on points with Arsenal. We're 6 points behind top four, and that's what we want to get this season. We want to potentially get that top four this season, as we all know, because I think Solskjaer's going to elevate to that higher level now. He doesn't rest on his laurels, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He does show that inspiration, as we all currently know. And it'd be good to see him bring Scott McTominay, on at the end, because essentially he knew, the game had been won. Did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as we all know, obviously brought Lukaku on, as I said. But potentially, yeah, as I did say, there's a lot of vast improvements, you can see, since Solskjaer took over, because his passing's better, we're creating more chances, his finishing's improving as well, and you can just see that the players want to play for this manager, and the confidence is in the team, the motivation is in the team. We look energetic, and we look today, we looked very, very dangerous on the counter attack, and as I did say, Martial, is very, very good on that left hand side. I think Rashford's very, very good centrally, to be quite fair, and I think Lingard's, been playing very, very well, and I thought Lingard, looked very effective, in the first half today as well. But second half, it was all Tottenham that created chances left, right and centre, as I said. But David De Gea, I think, made 11 saves in the second half, as I currently said. So, yeah, great result for us, as I currently said. So, top four is definitely still on. 6 wins out of 6 now. That's potentially now 17 goals scored, now in 6 games, potentially 3 clean sheets now, we've got now under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So, yeah, it's positivity now. He's back to Manchester United, as we all know, because potentially now I think this team is going to become a replica to what the team did and achieved, under the Alex Ferguson era, for 27 good years, we had under Alex Ferguson. We know we have been playing catch up for the last 5 years since, he retired, as I currently said, but now I think Solskjaer's got it, changed it all around, he knows his formations, he knows his tactics, as we all know, and if he sees a problem, he addresses that problem, does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and I think, the club should give Solskjaer, the job on a full-time basis, as I said, he said he would love the job on a full-time basis, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as he's currently said, but he did say in his press, obviously we know that we've been, obviously we looked tired in the second half today, we looked a bit lethargic because we, Tottenham were putting pressure on us, and we invited Tottenham to put pressure on us. Obviously we'd been training in Dubai midweek, and Solskjaer had confirmed in his press conference, we had 4 good days of training, in Dubai, as he had confirmed. He said they worked really hard, and he said he laid some principles down, did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, said, but he did clearly say, did Solskjaer, we can't allow Kane to have any chances, and he had a hell of a lot of chances in that second half, did Harry Kane, as well, couldn't know, because they were getting runs, they were getting in behind. We did defend very, very well today, quite honestly, but as I did say, David De Gea was absolutely sublime, as I currently said, and Solskjaer actually praised Pochettino, the work he's done at Tottenham, before, coming into this game, as I currently said, but obviously we know potentially Solskjaer said he'd love the job on a full-time basis, as he currently said, and I'd love him to get the job on a full-time basis, because he knows the culture of the club, he knows the trappings of the club, as we all know, because he was a great player, for 11 years, he's plays from the reserve team as well, does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, so I'd love him to get the job on a full-time basis, as we all currently know, but now we've got 6 wins out of 6 under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's beaten Sir Matt Busby's record, as I currently said, but the confidence is in the team, the passion's in the team, the heart and desires in the team, and the work ethic's absolutely sublime as well. And I've noticed when we've got the ball, that player, when one of us players are holding onto the ball, they see the 15-20 yard, he sees the 15-20 yard run ahead of him, and now we are attacking, we are seeing that attacking football, that we saw under Alex Ferguson. Second half, Tottenham were on another level in the second half. They stepped up a gear in the second half, did Tottenham Hotspur, but we did look a bit tired. But there again, Tottenham played midweek, as well against Chelsea. I think Pochettino made a couple of changes, from their winning, against Chelsea. So potentially Tottenham played midweek as well. So may have been a bit tired as well, as I currently said. But yeah, very, very good result for us. But we know the club is still recruiting, to get a full-time manager in at the end of the season. As we all currently know, we know Pochettino is the number one target, to come in. As I currently said, so there has been a lot of talks about Pochettino coming in, as I said. But reportedly, the latest news, according to Danny Lever, the current chairman for Tottenham, he's confirmed he's not allowing, Mauricio Pochettino to leave, as we all currently know, because he's reluctant, to let Mauricio Pochettino leave Tottenham. I think Pochettino's got strong reservations, as he has confirmed, about leaving North London, because we know he's been heavily linked with a Manchester United job, as Mauricio Pochettino, as we all currently know. But he hasn't won out in terms of silverware yet, Mauricio Pochettino, and that's what he's looking to do at Tottenham, because he's been at Tottenham for 5 years. He's only spent £50 million since 2014. It did say if Man United were to pay in the excess of £50 million, potentially Danny Lever would not let, Mauricio Pochettino go. But his youth of young players is very, very good. His attacking football, he's very, very good. And I think he's now managed over 250 odd games now, is it? For Tottenham Hotspur, as Mauricio Pochettino. But he has been coming out saying he'd like to manage Tottenham for 20 years. And saying Tottenham have to operate differently, to win league titles, as we all couldn't know. So that's what he has been saying, Mauricio Pochettino. We know he signed a 5-year deal, last summer with Tottenham, as we all know. But potentially, in my opinion, and we know there's been other talks of other managers as well, I think, Solskjaer should get the job now. As I currently said, 6 wins out of 6. There's confidence in the team, as I currently said. And we're seeing, the glory days, of how we used to play under Ferguson. As I currently said, you can just tell the difference in the team. We're playing with a higher line. We're creating chances. We look very, very good on the counter-attack. We've got Rashford, who's nearly made 150 appearances now at the age of 21. And that's, absolutely remarkable indeed. He's been providing, he's been scoring. Pogba looks very, very effective in the middle, as I currently said. He's getting the freedom, under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, to express himself, as we all currently know. But you can tell the difference in the team. Fullbacks are getting higher up the pitch and getting involved. Centre-backs, as I currently said, galloping up the pitch more. As I said, Matic has improved under Solskjaer, as I said. But we know I'd love Solskjaer to get the job on a full-time basis, as I currently said. But I still think we do potentially, need signings in that team, as we all currently know. But as I did say to you guys, potentially we know the rumours have been going on, that stemmed from the media yesterday about potentially Gareth Southgate coming in, because potentially, a lot of Manchester United fans have laughed this off. I wouldn't want Gareth Southgate, to come in on the full-time basis anywhere at the end of the season. But, there has been potential talks of Gareth Southgate, reportedly coming in, because it reported from Sky Sports yesterday, as we all know, because obviously now, Pochettino's looking unlikely, as I currently said, because I think he's happy at Tottenham. They've got a new stadium, coming up very, very soon, as well. So I think Pochettino's potentially unlikely, as I currently said. But, Gareth Southgate has reportedly, been mentioned in the media. As I said, I think, he's only managed once at club level, and that was at Middlesbrough from 2006 to 2009. He currently manages the England team now. Does Gareth Southgate? He signed a new contract, in October last year, back in October until 2022. He progressed England to the semi-finals in last year's World Cup as well. And potentially Gareth Southgate as a player, I think he potentially played for Crystal Palace, won the First Division Championship with Crystal Palace, and he potentially played for Villa and Middlesbrough and won the League Cup with both Villa and Middlesbrough. He made 57 appearances for England as well, did Gareth Southgate, I think. And potentially, potentially he actually featured in the 1998 World Cup as a player, did 1996 and 2000 European Championships as a player as well, did Gareth Southgate, and potentially made over 500 odd appearances, as a player, did Southgate, but managed Middlesbrough from 2006 to 2009, managed England under 21s, for 3 years as well. For 3 years as well. I think he stopped playing, he stopped playing in his playing career at about 35 years of age. He is now 48 Now he's Gareth Southgate, as we all know. Now he's managing the England national team, as we all know. But reportedly, he's been added onto our managerial shortlist because potentially, Mauricio Pochettino does like, he's unlikely. But I wouldn't want Gareth Southgate to come in anywhere, to be quite honest with you. It just wouldn't. It'd be a mistake. It'd be the biggest mistake we did, if we recommended him in, to come in at the end of the season, on a full-time basis, that potentially, would be a mistake, as we all couldn't know. But what a result today. Big win, as I said, away at Tottenham as well. And Tottenham, a very, very good team, with a lot of good players. And this Tottenham team's mainly built around Pochettino because he's only spent £50 million since 2014. And Tottenham have been playing very, very well. They're in the League Cup semi-finals, beat Chelsea midweek. The third in the league. They had the opportunity to go second today, if they had have won as well. But obviously, our objective now is to get into the top four, and that is our objective. And hopefully, get us back up there competing with the likes of City and Liverpool, as we all currently know, because we the way we're playing at the moment, we know there's still issues in the team, that potentially do need addressing. We've still got a lot of players, coming to the end of the contracts, as we all know. I think potentially we do need a strong central defender. We need a defensive mid, and we need someone on the right as well. But if we keep playing in this, in this vein, and it's just the manner, we're just playing in that right manner, we're playing in the manner, like we used to do under Alex Ferguson, but we're playing in the right vein. There's confidence in the team. We're passing the ball very, very well. We're looking energetic. We look very, very good on the counter-attack. His finishing's improved as well, without a shadow of a doubt. But under Mourinho, we just used to sit back, invite pressure, play defensively all the time. But the second half today, Tottenham had so many chances in that second half. As I currently said, did Harry Winks have a couple of chances, today for Tottenham as well? Kane had chances today. Dele Alli had chances today. David De Gea just made some absolutely world-class saves today, and he actually did get the man of the match, did David De Gea, as we all currently know. But potentially, we have got a very, very good team. I think we've got a better team than Arsenal, definitely. We have got a better team than Arsenal. Potentially, we have got a very, very good team, but obviously it wasn't, gelling together and playing that well, under Jose Mourinho, because Jose Mourinho, the players weren't playing for him. He had disputes with a lot of the players. Mourinho had disputes with the board, as we all know. But I think we've done the right thing by sacking him. Now we've got Solskjaer in the job. He has brought positivity back to this football club, as we all know, and all the fans are happy, the players are happy. And I think, he did say Solskjaer is going to give everybody the chance, including the youth. I think the youth will grow and develop under him. I think, this team's going to flourish under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I really, really do, to be quite honest with you. But I think the stats today, Tottenham actually had 60% of the possession today. As I currently said, I think we had 40 odd. But the second half, Tottenham couldn't have done nothing more. They had so many chances in that second half. And David De Gea, I think, made 11 saves in the current second half. But I thought we looked very, very disciplined at the back. I thought we did put out a good defensive, display. Especially in the first half as well. I thought we looked very, very strong at the back as well. With our determination to win the possession back, in the first half was absolutely amazing as well. Tottenham in the first half couldn't string a lot of passes together. They were losing the ball far too easy in the half. And we played well in the first half because we looked very, very dangerous. On the counter attack. We were getting runs in behind. We were getting passes in behind. As I currently said, and Tottenham, I think, had a couple of chances, in the first half as well, in that current game. But yeah, what a big, massive win this is. Third clean sheet now. Third clean sheet. 6 wins out of 6. Best start now. It's the best start now. Solskjaer's the first manager to have the best start. And he's the first manager to win his first 6 games. And so he has potentially, beaten Sir Matt Busby's record, because I just think Sir Matt Busby, when he was here, won his first 5 games. I currently said as well. But we have spent a lot of money in this team. Over £400 million has been spent on this team. But as I did say, Solskjaer's getting the best out of these players now. The players are getting the best out of Solskjaer, because he has laid the laws down to the players, as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, positively low, and they followed what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has had to say, as we all currently know. It potentially wasn't a convincing performance. It wasn't as good as performances like the Cardiff game or the Bournemouth game, as we all currently know. But potentially they're not as good as Tottenham Hotspur, as we all currently know. And I said in Newcastle game in the first half, we were struggling to break Newcastle down. Newcastle were very, very disciplined in defence, but potentially there is still issues in the team, in my opinion, that do need addressing. But I'm very, very happy, to be quite fair. 6 wins out of 6 now, 17 goals scored under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. We would have not have done this under Jose Mourinho. I think if we'd have had Jose Mourinho today, and we'd have had a bit different have lost the game. I think either way, if we'd have had a different keeper with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in charge, if we'd have had a different keeper, we would have lost that game today without a shadow of a doubt. And David De Gea is potentially, the best keeper in the world, as we all know. But we know we've obviously still got Alexis Sanchez out. He's injured, obviously, Alexis Sanchez. I class him as a fringe player, Sanchez, to be quite honest with you. I think Lukaku, obviously, I don't think he's going to get that many first team starts, from the start. Lukaku, because obviously, when we have got the likes of Lukaku in our team and Sanchez in our team and Fellaini and Mata in our team, it's a bit slow, isn't it? There's no tempo to his play. We're not fast. We're not quick on the ball. When we've got them players on the pitch, but when we've got Martial, Rashford and Lingard, them players, who are basically taking over Lukaku and Sanchez's roles and their shirts. There's creativeness, there's speed, there's power in the team, as I currently said. But when you've got them slow players in the team, the team just, the whole basic team, just looks static, because potentially the likes of Lukaku and Sanchez and all Mata and all that and Fellaini can't cope with the pace of the likes of Martial and Marcus Rashford, and Lingard and all that. That's what Gary Neville was saying, whilst the match was going on, as we all currently know. But as I did say, I do think there will be, I still think there'll be players leaving Manchester United. I think Fellaini, will be leaving. I don't see how he fits in his new regime. Reportedly, it says AC Milan have been interested in him. We've had him, here since 2013. And of course, I think Darmian, will be leaving as well. To be quite honest with you, Valencia, I think, Valencia, will be leaving, as I currently said. I think definitely, Valencia will be leaving, because he's been here now 10 years. He's made over 300 odd appearances as Antonio Valencia. Potentially, he's been in and out of the team this season. He's hardly played this season, because potentially we know Ashley Young is our first choice right back. As we all know, he's Ashley Young, and he's still making an impact. He's 33, just like Valencia, but I thought he was okay today. He was getting high up the pitch, getting the fullbacks out of the pitch, which was good to see. But Ashley Young, obviously, we're in talks to secure Ashley Young and Mata new deals, as well as that's also confirmed in the press as well. I want basically David De Gea to secure a new long-term deal at the club as well, because he's just potentially the best keeper in the world. And Solskjaer did say before he wants to try and tie down David De Gea to a new long-term contract, Martial to a new long-term contract term as well, because Martial was influential today on that left-hand side. He was causing all sorts of problems in the first half. He definitely was, as we all currently know. Rashford, centrally, he's more effective centrally, and he causes all sorts of problems. I think Rashford's finishing is absolutely sublime as well, and I think Pogba in that middle, just behind the centre forward, is more effective. Well, I think he's very good in the air. Pogba is very, very effective, and I think he's like two players in one, when he's like that. And I think the movement and combination in the first half was very, very good. Second half, we was on the back foot, as we all couldn't know. We looked tired in the second half, to be quite honest, because as we all know, Tottenham were putting a lot of pressure on our back line in the second half, and I was very, very nervous, towards the end, because I thought Tottenham were going to score. The amount of chances they created, the amount of pressure they was putting on us. As I currently said, but this is a big win for us, as we all currently know. And next, we've got Brighton, I think, at home, and then is it Arsenal in the cup after that. And I think we are definitely capable of beating. We're going to beat Brighton. Obviously, we should beat Brighton easy. Arsenal at the Emirates is going to be a difficult game, but Arsenal have got a lot of problems at their club at the moment. that do need addressing. As I've already spoke to you guys about, as I currently said. But as I did say, there's still certain areas, we do need to strengthen up, as we all know. We have been talks, of getting Koulibaly, into the squad, because I still think, Jones was playing today, to be quite fine. I thought he looked disciplined at the back. Today you saw a few last-ditch tackles, we made in the first half. We made some good, decent blocks as well in the game. But Phil Jones and Chris Smalling, obviously Smalling's injured. I don't think they'll be here next season, to be quite honest with you. Fosu Mensah and Tuan Zebe are out on loan. Bailly is obviously still suspended, but he's still got great potential, and he can be a world-class central defender, can Eric? Lindelof, again, I thought played well today. He's really improved this season. As Lindelof, he actually made his 50th Manchester United appearance today. Did Victor Lindelof as well. But potentially, so I think potentially Koulibaly would be a fantastic central defender for us, as we all know. I think potentially Koulibaly does actually want to leave Napoli, as he has currently confirmed, because he's under contract with Napoli until 2023. But this is due to the racial abuse. back in Boxing Day, as we all currently know. And potentially we know he's been heavily linked with a move to Old Trafford because I think he'd be a good leader in our back line. We know the press have reported that Real Madrid have also been interested in Koulibaly, as well. But Koulibaly, as I currently said, he adapts over his game very well. He's tenacious. He's got a lot of tenacity about his play, as we all know, as Koulibaly. And potentially in the process so far, Manchester United have had 3 bids turned down for him. The recent one was 95 million, as we all currently know. But as I did say, I don't think the Napoli president is willing to, to do any business in this January window anywhere. I don't mind them. No, I don't mind them at all. They won today, didn't they? By, was it 2-0 or something? 2 goals to 0 today, wasn't it? As well. I've just done my Tottenham Man United review, so we're getting to a bit more transfer rumours. But yeah, Koulibaly's been heavily linked with a move to Old Trafford. He's potentially our main priority target because, as I did say, Ed Woodward. What players you like from Everton? I think that Richardson, or whatever you pronounce his name, I think that Richardson's good. Have Everton still got Theo Walcott, if I can remember? I don't really follow Everton, that much. I don't hate him, but yeah, there you go. But yeah, Koulibaly, great player, as I said, and he's potentially, our number 1 target, to get in, as I currently said. But I think this facial abuse he currently suffered back in December, I think, he wants to make the move from Napoli, as I did confirm. He plays for Manchester United. Lukaku, he plays for us now, obviously. Yeah, I do like him. I think he's a good player. He's obviously Premier League proven, as I currently said. We didn't play him today. Obviously, he came on as a substitute in the second half. He's slow, isn't he? Yeah, I have reservations about him. He's a bit slow. Well, he's very slow, to be quite honest with you. Everyone has concerns about his first touch, but he's a proven goal scorer, and he has done it in the Premier League. Man of the match, David De Gea was definitely the man of the match today with the amount of saves, that he delivered in the second half, without a shadow of a doubt. Because Kane had chances left, right, and centre. Dele Alli had chances. Trippier had chances. I just don't know how, we basically won that game, because, as I did say, we don't have him in net today. We are definitely losing that game because Tottenham have got that quality up front. Obviously, my team, Man United, have got the quality up front as well, but I just think potentially the difference was we was more clinical. We scored the goal from a piece of brilliance from Paul Pogba for the assist to find Rashford, and Rashford finishes it, and that's it. That's the difference in the game. Just must have just been more clinical in the final third, and we took our chance. Tottenham didn't take their chances. This is why Tottenham didn't get the result today, as we all currently know. But yeah, thank you for for your comments, for putting that below. As I did say, yeah, but Koulibaly, would be a fantastic signing for us. But I think a deal would be likely, for him in the summer. To be quite honest with you, we know potentially a few other names as well. We know the likes of, Milan Skriniar has been mentioned as well, and he's 23. He's 4 years younger than Koulibaly, as we all currently know. Is Milan Skriniar, as we all know. Potentially he's in Milan player. He's 23 years of age, so he's still young in his prime. As we all know, reports from Italy have been coming out saying that we've been interested in him. It said we'd put around a £54 million bidding, for Milan Skriniar, as we all currently know, in the process. And he's made 60 odd appearances for Inter Milan since 2017. He's the most expensive Slovakian player. He's the most expensive slacking player of all time. I think Inter Milan paid around, was it £20 million for Milan Skriniar? But we know potentially, we have been linked to him. He's nowhere near the same caliber as Koulibaly, or the same level as Koulibaly. But as we all currently know, guys, as I did say, my favoured one would be Koulibaly to come in. A lot of Manchester United fans would like him to come in, and we know it cost him the excess of around 100 million, but we've got the financial power, to meet that valuation. As we all currently know, we know potentially there's been talks about Eder Militao, coming in as well. Eder Militao is only 20 years of age, very young indeed. He's a Porto player. He's still got like 3 or 4 years, left on his contract. He's got a 40-odd million release clause. His versatility is very good at the back, because he can potentially play as centre-back, a full-back, and a defensive midfielder. But I think he's predominantly a right-back, is this Eder Militao. Reportedly, he's only been at Porto last summer. He's Brazilian, as we all currently know, is this player as well. But potentially, we have been linked with Eder Militao, as I said. But according, the players we're linked to, we know the players we're linked to, as we all know, but potentially Solskjaer's confirmed. He still says he thinks it's unlikely we'll make any signings in his January window, as he has confirmed. He says he doesn't expect us to make any signings in his January window, but even though he did confirm he was going to meet up with Ed Woodward, was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He was going to meet up with Ed Woodward, to have negotiations about this current window, as we all currently know, as I said. But there is still a couple of signings, needed into the team. I don't think the potential team is good enough to win the league at the moment, but it's definitely, good enough, to finish in the top four. And I think we've still got a chance of getting top four this season. We've got a great chance, of winning the FA Cup this season. I think we can win the FA Cup this season because we haven't won much silverware, since Ferguson retired. We only won the FA Cup under Louis van Gaal, and we won the Europa League and League Cup, in the first season, with Jose Mourinho, as we all couldn't know. But I still think there's a couple of signs, needed in our team. We know there's been talks about Toby Alderweireld, potentially, we have been linked with him as well. We've been linked with Kostas Manolos as well, the current Roma central defender, 27 years of age, 6 foot summit. He is Greek, as we all currently know in the process. He is Greek. He's nowhere near the same levels as the likes of Koulibaly or your Diego Godins or your Rafael Varane and all that, the top talent, the top world-class central defenders out there. But reportedly Raiola represents him. Reportedly Raiola's been in discussions with Man United getting a 32 million deal over the line for this Roman defender. Man United have been in talks to him to get him in the summer. He's got a 32 million release clause in his current contract as this Roma central defender, as we all couldn't know. But we've also, been linked with him as well, and he is age 27, as we all know. So he's been mentioned in the press, and we still know that rumours, do keep potentially, coming out about Philippe Coutinho. He's been a potential player, with also being linked with as well. I don't think it'll happen anywhere because I think, Barcelona are still adamant and convinced. The Barcelona director and the sporting relations, are still convinced he has a future at Barcelona, even though Coutinho has fallen down the pecking order at Barcelona, as we all know, and he hasn't made the impact at Barcelona, as he did do at Liverpool, because he was good at Liverpool. He flourished with Liverpool, for 5 years, did Philippe Coutinho, as we all currently know. Liverpool only paid £8.6 million for him from Inter Milan. Coutinho used to potentially, play under Pochettino, when he was young in his prime, when he was on loan with Espanyol, Philippe Coutinho, but he flourished very, very well at Liverpool. His versatility is very, very good, and I think he is a good maestro, to quite honestly, but his versatility is, very, very good as Coutinho's, because, he can potentially play in the middle. He can play as a second striker, he can play attacking mid, and he can play on the left and on the left flank, and he can play on the right flank. So his versatility, is very, very good. He's only been at Barcelona a year, as we all know, but he's struggling for game time. Is Philippe Coutinho, as we all know. So recently he has fallen down the pecking order. I think he'd be valued at over £100 million anywhere, would Philippe Coutinho, but he's coming out saying that, according to Dan Ballon, the Spanish publication, that reportedly Manchester United are planning to preparing to put a bid in for Coutinho. I think he'd be very, very good if he was to come. I think he'd be a great addition, to our squad, as we all know. If he came in as attacking midfield position, that'd mean, Martial could play more centrally and Rashford more centrally, as we all currently know, where they do look more effective, to quite honestly. I think Martial's good on the left anywhere. Even if he were playing centrally, he probably would look a bit better, but I think he's very, very good on that left, is Martial. He creates that width on the left-hand side, very, very well. He's very dangerous. He causes, fullbacks problems, with his pace, does Anthony Martial, as I currently said. But Coutinho would be very, very good. As I said, I don't think it'll happen anywhere, but reportedly Manchester United have been in talks, with Barcelona over this, as we all currently know. Barcelona have only had him here, and they paid £142 million for him from Liverpool, so potentially he's he's the third most expensive player in the world, is Coutinho, as we all currently know. And potentially he's only done a year of his contract with Barcelona, so potentially, he signed a long contract with Barcelona as well. But there has been, a lot of talks, going on about Philippe Coutinho, coming in, as I currently said. But yeah, we got the win today. That's the most important thing. Very, very good to see us, get the win today, as I currently said. As I did say, I hope David De Gea somewhere along the line comes to, agreement on a new long-term deal. As Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did say, he wants David De Gea to, and he wants Anthony Martial to sign new long-term deals at the club, because obviously on both players, De Gea and Martial, we activated a 12-month, extension on their current contracts. As we all know, I think David De Gea has been here since 2011. I think he's made about 95, 96 clean sheets now in the Premier League. It's nearly 100 now clean sheets he's made in the Premier League, is it? Since 2011, David De Gea. Potentially, he nearly made the move to Real Madrid in 2015, as we all currently know, but he didn't. And he's been here a good, 7, 8 years or something like that at least now, David De Gea. I think he's made over 300 odd appearances for the club as well. But as I did say, we've extended his current contract till 2020, but somewhere along the line, we want to come to agreement on agreeing him a new new long-term deal at the club, and I think he's happy at Manchester United. He's David De Gea, as we all know, he's won the club's Player of the Year 4 out of 5 seasons, as we all currently know. Potentially made over I think he's made over 300 appearances in the league. He's won Sir Matt Busby Player of the Year, quite a few times as well. As David De Gea, he did confirm before that, that Paris Saint-Germain were interested in him. He did say Juventus would also interest him, but I think he's very, very happy now. And he did say before about being up there competing for silverware and all that, but potentially things have changed now. Mourinho's no longer here. Solskjaer's in, so De Gea will definitely, somewhere along the line come to an agreement on a new deal, as we all know. Same with Anthony Martial, as I was saying, about Anthony Martial. He's actually, what I heard about his representative did say, he was pessimistic, actually about his agent was pessimistic about Martial signing a new contract. Last summer, his current representative, Martial's representative, did say potentially that he wanted to leave last summer, Anthony Martial, but he's grown and developed with Manchester United, fantastically well. He's age 22. He's just a year older, I think, than Marcus Rashford, because Marcus Rashford's 21. But they are good young age challenge, as we all currently know in the current process. But as I did say, so hopefully we can agree on a new long-term deal for Martial and David De Gea, as we all currently know in the process. So, great win today, as we all currently know. And Lindelof making his 50th appearance today as well, which was very, very good to see. And I thought we was distinctive in our play in the first half. I thought we were making runs in behind, getting passes in behind. We created a few chances in the first half. We was good, as movement was good, but was also good on the width as well. We was good in wide position, in the first half as well, because Martial's good on that width. As I said, and Lingard looks very, very good on the right as well, and Rashford looks very, very effective, in the centre, as we all currently know. And Pogba looks very, very good just playing behind him, in an attacking position. Pogba looks very, very good indeed. As I could. Anyway, drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do consider subscribe, as always, guys, and take care. God bless. I'll see you all again on my next video. Bye.